Alechem Rabbeinu, Alechem Rabbeinu, Alechem Rabbeinu, Shalom. Exactly 7. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are here on our own tonight. No special speakers. Rabbi is enjoying some wonderful time with his family tonight. And it's a cozy little Shabbat. So, Shabbat Shalom one more time. Why don't you take a moment to say Shabbat Shalom to the person sitting next to you, or the person in front of you, or the person behind. This is interesting. And Mr. Bruce isn't here, so who is reading the announcements tonight and saying the long extended welcome? I don't have an announcement sheet. Oh, we got spoiled. We didn't have to worry about a lot. Hello, Bruce out there. Hello, Rabbi out there. Everyone, this is Nick, and this is his fiancée, Sarah, who's visiting us this evening. So we'll see if there's anyone that's going to be saying. Joanne said she'll do them at the end. Would you like to come up and say a nice welcome to everybody? Sure. Well, that's nice. Not my job. It is tonight. Oh, you can just, this one isn't even on here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, that one.
Welcome, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay. All right, so let's see. Who wants to do an English reading? Come up and lead a reading in English. Oh, Karen, come on up. Yeah, now, page 125. Cozy little group will help with the leading. Right over there, that mic. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you want me to do it like responsive reading and so on?
This one is just they'll read along with you.
Yes,
on page 124, we enter this sanctuary. No, I'm sorry. Let's do 125. Where has the week vanished?
Where has the week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide.
Thank you. We turn to page 128 for a version of Yedid Nefesh by Rebecca Schwartz. 128, third song down on the page. Yedid Nefesh av harachaman b'shokavtecha her ritonecha. Yedid Nefesh av harachaman b'shokavtecha her ritonecha. ישתחווה מול דרכך, ירוץ עבדך כמו הים, ישתחווה מול דרכך. Try with me. ידי נפש הרקמן, משוק עבדך רצונך. ידי נפש הרקמן, משוק עבדך רצונך. ירוץ עבדך כמו הים, ישתחווה מול דרכך. ירוץ עבדך כמו הים, ישתחווה מול דרכך. ידי נפש הרחמן, משוק עבדך רצונך. ידי נפש הרחמן, משוק עבדך רצונך. Well, who would like to do the candles and the Kiddush? I could sing it for you if you want. I just need someone to light the candles and someone even to hold up a glass. Come on up, Judy. Thank you so much. We're turning to page 120. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Why don't you stay up and just hold up that Kiddush cup as we turn to page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'pratzavanu v'shabbat kodesh be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maseh v'reshit ki hu yom tekilah למקראי קודש, זכר נסיעת מצרים, קיבלנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל עמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. You want to take a sip or a pretend sip? Or? Is there wine in that? There is. Let's turn to page 138 for Lecha Dodi. We're going to do the first verse and the 9th verse. When we get to the 9th verse, we're going to stand and face the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat queen, as she enters into our beautiful sanctuary. Lecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'sachor v'tibor echad hishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad Shmo echad Shemu tiferet v'litchila Lecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom adheret malha gam b'simcha uvetzorla doch yebonei am tigula boi kala Alecha dodi likrakala yanana. Wave to everybody, you see. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Alecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. One more time, everybody. Lecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrakala yanana 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Let's turn to page 146 and remain standing for the Baruch Hu. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Everyone with me. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Page 149, we read together on the bottom. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. The next page, 150, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Bet Yisrael, Amet Ahavta, Amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Atanu limadta, Atanu limadta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu uv'kumenu nasiach berukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha uv'mitzvotecha v'olam ki hem chayenu v'yorek yameinu uvahem negi yomam v'layla negi yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch ata Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael. Page 152, please remain standing. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Page 154. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol avotecha ve'ayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi metzavcha hayom al levavcha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochtecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot hayadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Who'd like to do a reading? Somebody come up and do a reading right there. Page 157, Standing on the Parted Shores. Yes, Carol. Page 157. Thank you. And we'll all read along, of course.
Yes, thank you. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Thank you. Page 158, Mi Chamocha, pretty new setting by Daniel Singer of Mi Chamocha. I've been looking for a Mi Chamocha that I like for years. I do the Debbie Friedman just about every week. There's just a couple that I swap out. And, there's another gentleman, Richard Silverman. Mi Chamocha, I do that also, but I kind of fell in love with this one. I hope you like it too. It's hard to sing along with something like the first time you hear it, but you'll hear it. It's got this nice melody that just keeps repeating, so I hope you'll try to sing along. Try with me. Mi kamocha bailim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot haseh nora tehilot haseh What do you think? Pretty? You got a thumbs up? You got a thumbs up in the back too? Nice. And I'll learn it better too. There was a little area, like somewhere around 3/4 of the way, I'm like, But we just learned it today. So I'm happy we got it out there, so the next time we'll be even that more confident with it. let's move to, yes, page 162 for Yismechu. We'll get some hand clapping in there. Yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Mekadashei shvi Shabbat, kulam yismechu v'yitangu mitum v'chashabat, Shabbat yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kidashta Shabbat, Hemnayami oto karata Shabbat, Shabbat yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Zecher masei v'reshit Shabbat, zecher masei v'reshit Shabbat, Shabbat yismechu kutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malekutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei hanei Shabbat. Let's read a little something on page 163. Second paragraph. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Let's rise, please, as we turn to 164 for the silent meditation. And we will join together. When you have seated, I'll know that you are finished praying, and then we'll meet on page 180 for Oseh Shalom. I often think can't be any more urgent time to pray for peace, and then more happens in the next week than the next week after. And I think this is the time we really, really need to pray for peace, and then it's just more in the news. And so let's sing this really with a lot of conviction. Oseh Shalom, again on page 180. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Yaseh Shalom aleinu, Be'erko Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Someone please read on the top of page 181, right here for me. It could be anybody.
Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Then I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. The lost will find their way home. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your grace.
Thank you. All of our prayers are needed. Communal prayers, our private prayers. Get this whole state of affairs in this world in order somehow. So I have a Mishaberach list here. I think we'll do that, and then I'll speak a little bit, and then we'll come back to the service. So I'll read some of these lists, and we can add our own names. Okay? So on our Mishaberach this week is Lynn Bass, Alex Crow, John Dubrown, Sue Frank, Antonio Franzen, Rochelle Goodman, Sharon Gray, Irene Green, Paula Jones, Gary Massaletti, Maurice Chip Mongian, Jill Shire Monahan, Cheryl Rossi, Brandon Ryan, Joni Schwartz, Renee Schwartz, Joyce Seitz, Carol Silverman, Jill Tirabassi, Mike Wheeler, Christine Zalewski, Karen Bott, Sarah Verubin Hakohain, Rafaela Bat Tzfuya, Avraham Ben Rivka, Aviva Bat Shoshana, Hanan Ezra Ben Shuel. Are there any names that you want to mention? Yes. Yes. In the back, thank you. Yeah, Karen, could you just?
I am Lisa Steinfeld. Dr. Ramsey.
Edwin Fitzgerald.
Patricia Root.
Leah Stern.
So, 2 weeks ago, I was in Florida visiting my daughter, right? I wasn't here for services, right? While that was happening, there was a retreat, like a conference for my alumni association through the Academy for Jewish Religion, and it's also the students that are attending school right now. There's about 80 people there, and the first night someone became ill with COVID, and didn't know when he came to the conference. And of course, you know, when these conferences, when Jewish people are together, everyone's talking and schmoozing and all of that, right? 44 positive results later. So I have, I'm not going to read all of their names, but I literally have everyone's names, rabbis, cantors, and some students. 44. And I was watching us, the chats were going back and forth because I was in the loop through my alumni association. Oh, count me in, count me in, count me in. And everyone was ill. You know, there's no one being hospitalized right now. But if you look at that percentage rate, it's, oh my. It was So I have all of my fellow rabbis and cantors from my alumni association and the present students at the Academy of Jewish Religion. I have you all in my thoughts for a speedy, speedy recovery. Let's turn to page 371. We're thinking about those injured in active shooting situations this last week also. On page 371. Hang on. Two, three, four.
Mikol habracha lehavotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
So, I've been writing a weekly email every week. Anybody been getting them? It's called Cantor's Pick. Have you been enjoying them at all? Good, good. I'm sorry.
I'm translating for him.
Oh, okay. If any. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You know, I can sing loud, but I don't really speak loud. So I thought I'd read one of them tonight and just kind of reenact it a little bit. And I was trying to figure out which one so far that I had liked the best, you know, and thinking about which one kind of told the best story in a way. Then I had certain signs that led me to which one was the right one. I had just gotten this in the mail today. I forgot that I had ordered it like a few months ago. And this is the anthology of music from cantor Richard Silverman. Now, does anybody remember from the article what Richard Silverman wrote, what piece he wrote? Anyone? Well, if you do, keep it inside. So I'll read this little story. And these cantor's picks they're basically about music, all synagogue music and everything, but it's about like my personal relationship with that music, or maybe with the composer, or or the time of year that this music happens to be sung ordinarily. So this is from at least a month ago. It's called The Tree of Life by Richard Silverman. Last week I told the story of the Shul Sisters trio and shared with you a wonderful video which so many of you enjoyed. Thank you so much for your feedback. As you probably remember, last week's story took place in 2018 in Dallas, Texas. It reminded me of another interesting interaction I had at the same conference. It involves a piece of music that our community loves. Everybody know The Tree of Life? If you got it in your ear, everybody raise your hand if you got that song. Okay, it's hard to get out once it's in there. One of the events of this American Conference of Cantors convention was a kosher barbecue hoedown at a large ranch in a huge rustic wooden dance hall. Hee-haw, she wrote. The cantors gathered onto our buses at our downtown hotel in Dallas and traveled an hour or so to the sprawling Texas countryside. I came to Dallas with my cowboy boots and hat for this event, and sure enough, all of my fellow cantors were dressed appropriately for any rodeo, cow wrestling adventures, if the opportunity availed itself. I was excited to see a band up on the rustic stage, which even featured a life-size hay wagon on it. They do everything big in Texas. Boy, oh boy, I was as ready as ever for country line dancing. However, dang blasted, the band only played cool jazz and smoky mid-century standards. Strangely enough, it was sophisticated music, but incongruous, or incongruous? Or where does the accent go? Incongruous? Okay. I'm guessing someone in charge thought, oh, cantors don't like country western music for their Texas hoedown. Geesh. Since it looked like I wasn't going to be showing off my country western slide moves or my formidable footwork to achy breaky heart, I decided to get onto that growing chow line and rustle up some food. Yet us city folk cantors have been pampered at every meal thus far, with white tablecloths and waiters. But here at the ranch, a person's got to get onto the barbecue and fixins chow line and then razzle up a spot at a picnic table with some friendly folk. So what do cantors do while standing on a long line for chow? Schmooze, of course. It happens that behind me was an older gentleman who was bursting with energy to schmooze and share. He introduces himself as Richard Silverman. Okay, I think that's nice, not knowing what to offer him back at the moment other than my name. I wrote the Tree of Life song, continued the ebullient, round-faced gentleman, red apple-cheeked under his cowboy hat from that blasted Texas summer heat. You never felt heat like that till you're in Texas in the summer. Yep, he proudly reported, I wrote the Tree of Life. And Mi Chamocha Yai Bye Bye, as he sings a few measures. Sorry Bruce isn't here, but CSS VP Bruce Chorus affectionately calls it the Yabba Dabba Doo Mi Chamocha. I'm thinking now, that gosh darn workhorse of a song, used all the time in every other synagogue, basically all over the world, was created, written by someone, somewhere, at some time. Why hadn't I thought about that before? I took it for granted. It did not travel down Mount Sinai as a whimsical chant in Moshe's ear. This very conversation with myself started me on a journey of trying to know even more about the music I sang and being even more diligent about identifying its origin. Just recently, I found this video of the original recording of Silverman's Tree of Life from the early 1970s. It is on an album released in 2006 called American Jewish Summer, Songs from the Jewish Youth Camping Movement, a collection of some great Jewish camp songs spanning decades. This groovy original rendition of The Tree of Life takes you on a stylistic 70s nostalgia ride, especially at the midway mark of the song when the plucky overdrive electric guitar threads its way through the piece until the very end. No guesswork identifying this musical genre. It makes me smile and feel a bit groovy myself. What do you think? I was surprised. Were you? So did anybody listen to it? Did anybody have a chance to hear it? Any impressions? Is it groovy? Anybody else? Cantor Richard B. Silverman's spirit and enthusiasm for Jewish music made a lasting impression on me, that's for sure. I'm not surprised, for he has been sharing his enthusiasm for Jewish music for generations as the cantor of Temple Israel in Westport, Connecticut, from 1988 until his retirement in June of 2012, at Stephen Wise Temple in Los Angeles from 1968 to 1976, and at Temple Isaiah in Lafayette, California from 1976 to 1988. As it states in Silverman's bio, he's a well-known composer in the Jewish community and has written over 200 songs, which includes pieces that are sung throughout the world in synagogues and Jewish camps. And then I further say, well, the Tree of Life can be found on page 374 of the Torah service in the Mishkan prayer book. It is found at the very end. My thumbs don't work anymore. When we put back the Torah into the ark, after it's lifted and dressed, the phrase itself, Tree of Life, is a description of our Torah, as in, it is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom. And I continue to say, enjoy and thank you for sharing time with me. So I get into work today, and I find a package on my chair, and it's from Cantor Richard Silverman, a collection of all his songs and an album. He's in his 80s, and he's decided to lighten the load, so he was having a blockbuster sale of all of his writing and his albums, run by his daughters. And so I sent in a little check, and now I have this nice collection of music and a memento, and you can see his ebullient smiling face right here. So why don't we just sing it? It is the tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is the tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Ba-da-da-da, shalom, 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 shalom. I it's announcement time. Oh, you might want to turn that, yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And happy Thanksgiving weekend. We hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends. Very special thank you to Cantor Frank and Nick Stelzer for a beautiful service in honor of Shabbat. And thank you to Mark Nightinger for being our service greeter this evening. We actually have no virtual offerings tomorrow, believe it or not. There is no Torah study this Saturday, and the Shabbat morning service and Kiddush luncheon will be in person only at Temple Beth Tzedek with a new time at 10:45 a.m. We'd like to thank everyone who donated and or volunteered for the Thanksgiving Basket Project that was at North Presbyterian Church. It went very well, thank goodness, and a special thank you to Julie and Chris Cohan for organizing the project for our temple with North Presbyterian Church. We've been doing it for decades. It's a wonderful tradition. And we had our first High Club drawing. The tickets are $18. Drawings are weekly from now until Purim. The winners each week are $18, $36, and $54. And the grand prize at Purim will be $180, $360, and $540. And you can win, and your tickets go back in the pot, and you can win more than once, which is a lot of fun. So I hope you'll join us. And we have one more Shabbatas on Tuesday, December 6th from 4 p.m. until sold out, and that'll be our last one until April, so be sure to pre-order your dinner and save $1. Huge thank you goes to Todd Sugarman, our president. He coordinated and sponsored 2 pickleball courts that are in our social hall. You can see them after the service if you'd like. Thank you, Todd, for your effort, commitment, and generosity. And pickleball, we're having 2 open plays this coming week on Monday and Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to David Sapphire, the chair of our pickleball committee. And thank you to everyone who ordered pies and fudge for the Women of Shir Shalom Becker Farms fundraiser. We hope you enjoyed them or are still enjoying them. Please check out our upcoming events in the service leaflet, and you can take it home for reference. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to Cantor and I, and when everyone else is back in town, Rabbi, Alex, and Todd, and Bruce. And please help yourself to our Oneg Shabbat, and if you would like to ever sponsor an Oneg for an occasion or no occasion at all, please see me, and I hope you have a wonderful Shabbat and weekend.
Please rise and turn to page 586 for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא עשה בנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו ושמו ושמו
be seated. Our hearts turn to our Yortzeit Shiva Shaloshim list this evening. We are observing Shiva for Jack Russo and Shiloshim for Sonia Breitbart, Neil H. Ehrenreich, Myrna Morris, and Donald Sirota. We are observing Yortzeit for Henry J. Amram, Albert Barback, Herbert I. Bello, Bertha Broder, Gladys Berwick, Louis Cantor, Catherine Fackstein, Essie Feinberg, Morris J. Foreman, Beatrice Frank, Elliot Frank, Mildred Frank, Charles Frankie, Jacob Fry, Abraham Gamler, Natalie Glickman, Isidore Greenfield, Herbert Gross, Myra Horowitz, Maurice Katz, Cantor Harry Hart Kaufman, Harvey Krebs, Herbert Levenberg, Olga Liebengards, Libby Linder, Beatrice T. Lipsitz, Esther Rosenfeld Lipsitz, Ruth Malik, David Markel, Millie Niss, Norman Perlstein, Edward Piquel, Solomon Pohl, Jeanette Riveau, George Rosenfeld, Helen Rozikoff, Freda Rubin, Bernard Sellers, Cynthia Lee Siegel, Sadie Silberman Finkelstein, Cisa Tegler, Ela Vroman, Louise Wasserman, and Cy Yaloff. Are there any names that we'd like to mention this evening? If it is your custom, please rise as we turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach Yeruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chaye d'chol bet Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei alamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata. Daniran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. Thank you. I have a couple announcements. We're working on a lot right now. We're working on Hanukkah. Hanukkah is coinciding with Christmas this year. So our Erev Hanukkah service is December 23rd. And it's going to be a very freilich event. It's titled Hanukkah in Chelm. And Chelm is a imaginary city where everyone thinks they're brilliant, and oh boy, they got crazy ways of reasoning through things in Chelm. They're kind of mixed up. We kind of call them in Yiddish. We call them meshuganas. They're meshuganas in Chelm. So we're going to dress like old world style. We have a lot of skits and things that the rabbi wrote in honor of the people of Chelm, the made-up people of Chelm. So that should be a lot of fun. We got some fun music happening. And then we are already starting to work on Purim. And it is not too late or too early to voice your opinion whether or not you want to be part of the troop this year. So we will be starting off, and it is, I'm going to let this out right now. It is the Beach Boys Megillah, and dress for fun in the sun. All right, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So, yeah, those are two things. Anyone have anything they want to add to any of our announcements? If not, we're going to move on to Adon Olam on page 625. 625. I want to thank Nick this evening for helping out on the piano. And thank you all for coming out, even though you're kind of turkey bloat and all that. You still found some clothes to wear, right? Here we go, Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem go, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'yacharei, Kiklot HaKol, V'vando Yimlok Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hova, V'hu Yiavatim. Everyone! Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'hu Echad, V'yein Sheni, V'chamshi Lo Lehachbira, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Haoz V'hamizrah. Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzochev Libi Yitzhara, V'hu Nisi, Umanosi, Minat Kosi, raise our voices! Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra, B'yado Avkid Ruki, V'yet Tishon V'ya'ira, V'yimruki, V'yati, Adonai li v'lo ira. Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem go, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra. As you have come in peace, may you go in peace along with all your neighbors and friends, and may we enjoy all that is available to us, and also motzi. I always forget the motzi, and it's not Bruce to make fun of me right now because I forgot the motzi. Okay, who's coming up? Who's coming up to do the motzi? Or I can do it for you. Just hold the bread. Come on, don't be shy. It could be a grandma, a grandpa. It doesn't have to be. Thank you. Thank you, Howard. Let's take that cover off and surprise. Oh, we're all supposed to say, ah. You get to take it home. Do you have anybody who can eat the challah at the house? You get to take it home.
Oh, well, okay.
I might have mentioned that before, but you might have had like 15 volunteered if they knew they were taking it home. All right, here we go. Amen. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the oneg outside. Is the oneg sponsored this evening by anyone particular? Okay, here we go. Oh, you want to try that again? Here you go. La la ya la 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 inemato ya la ya la 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 humanaim la la ya la 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 hevetaki la la ya la 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 kam ya ha bim bam biri biri bim bam inemato bim bam biri biri bim bam humanaim bim bam biri biri bim bam Shabbat Tovim bim bam biri biri bim bam gam yachal yai lai ya la 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 hine matov yai lai ya la 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 humanayim lai lai ya la 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 Shabbat Tovim yai lai ya la 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 gam yachal bim bam biri biri bim bam inemator bim bam biri biri bim bam umana